Hi, what's up everybody? GCROCK here and welcome to today's video. Today, I wanted to discuss Seasons 2.0, the modifiers, and the journey and what improvements they need going forward. We all have an opinion on this. It's the first go at it, like Yannick said, and there's a lot of room for improvement. So I think it's important that we feedback constructively what we would want to change, because some people really like them, some people really hate them, and I think that we need to obviously feedback to developers on why we really like them and why we really hate them, and just what can be done to make them even better. Now, please do comment down below with your thoughts. I'm going to share my thoughts now, but please, again, keep it constructive. Like a comment like the seasonal modifiers are arse. It's great you think they're arse, but why? Why are they arse? What have you tested? I'm coming from a perspective where I have unlocked all of the passive modifiers. I have unlocked all of the active modifiers. I've tested a lot of builds out with them, including this gameplay backdrop here, which is absolutely insane build of the modifiers. I'm having a ton of fun, and I've tested a lot. I've gone through the whole journey. I've completed every step on that journey. We actually did it in one sitting within 40 hours. What a stream that was. And yeah, that's my perspective on it. I've put a lot of time into this constructive feedback. Now, are the modifiers and is Seasons 2.0 in the journey perfect? Absolutely not. By a long shot. It's nowhere near perfect, but who gets things perfect first try? This is the first attempt. This is everybody at it now. We're able to give them feedback, and Yannick's even said there's future plans already in place to improve these. So yeah, it's not perfect at all. I think the modifier system is good. There's a lot of fun to be had with that. I do believe that I think the people's main problem right now, from what I'm gathering, is that a lot of people have not unlocked the whole modifier system. What they've done is they've turned modifiers on to begin with. They're having the hostile modifiers, and it is ass. It's rubbish. It's not fun. And what people aren't doing, and they're focusing on a journey, yeah? What people aren't doing is unlocking all those passive modifiers. There's a few of those passive modifiers that absolutely change this game and make you so overpowered. And I think if people just spend a bit of time, turn modifiers off, just get those passive modifiers unlocked so you can put yourself at the advantage, you can use this power you've got available to you, then all of a sudden the modifiers, in my opinion, don't seem as bad, especially the hostile ones. It's very fun. Like, look at this here. This is the quickest rogue encounter I have ever done. Now, I'm sure you could have done that anyway with the one-shot headshot build, but what I'm trying to, this one-shot headshot build that people use, the hot shot one, in Seasons 2.0 with all these modifiers, just becomes so much more incredible. I was hitting like hip shots for over 130 million. The damage is insane. It's thanks to the modifiers and this new system. What is wrong with it? I'd say a few things they should do in the future is with the hostile modifiers, because this is the biggest complaint, okay? This is what people aren't liking. I think they should gradually introduce them so you're not going against the hostile modifiers right away, and you are going to be going against hostile modifiers as you unlock passive modifiers. So it's kind of a natural progression. It's not just straight away, bam, we're going to shock you, we're going to be tanky, we're going to ruin your day. I think that would help, or completely not remove the hostile modifiers at all, but make them optional. So let people have all the fun, because it is fun, but don't have that drawback of that extra difficulty, because for some people that's just never going to work. It doesn't matter how fun you make it with the passive modifiers and the power that you get, they're not going to like those hostile modifiers. So make it so people can just have fun if they want, and if they want that extra challenge of hostile modifiers, have them like directives where you can switch them on and you'll get extra XP. I actually think that's the perfect scenario for a lot of people if we could just turn them off. I really do. We mentioned this in the PTS, and I remember PTS phase 1, I was absolutely raging at the modifiers. They did adjust them though. I don't think they're that bad no more. And I personally don't mind them. I love the extra challenge that you get with them. Every mission feels a bit fresh and different right now. I have to adapt. There's spawns where I have to adapt because I've got 4 of these people that I can't shoot at medium range spawning out on me or more. And I like that. I like that challenge, but then people don't at the same time. People don't want that. People want to play the game for fun. They just want to chill. They don't want to have to think on the spot like that. it's their calm down, you know. This game's to come on and just chill. They don't want it to be that much of a chore. And what these hostile modifiers do is they do kind of ruin that, so people just want to turn them off. What's really irritating people right now as well is the fact that it's hard to get away from the modifiers, because even if you turn them off, if you matchmake and someone jumps in on your world with the modifiers on, they're automatically putting those hostile modifiers on, which means every time you matchmake now, you have to deal with it because people want to play with modifiers on and you're not able to get away from it. I do believe they're switching that. So people that are complaining about that is meant to be getting, I want to say fixed, because I don't think that was intended. From the streams that they did, as far as I was concerned, Yannick said that it was the world owner, the world session, that determined whether modifiers were on or not. And I believe that's what they're doing. So that should be coming in the next patch, and you won't have to deal with that. If you're matchmaking and people jump on you and you have modifiers off, modifiers will be off. I think you just got to give them a bit of time with that, because this was meant to be on seasonal characters. They've had to make changes. No longer having seasonal characters. They've had to make it work with the main servers and the main characters. So there's got to be teething issues. I believe this is one of them. That is getting sorted. Other than that, though, I really don't have any more complaints about this system. I truly believe it's very, very fun. There's a lot of challenge to it if you want it, and I think with a few amendments, you're going to get everybody on board. And I think the ones that I mentioned will do great. I really do. Just these hostile modifiers, just make them not mandatory. Make them like directives. Give us extra XP for having them on. I think that would be a very, very good move, personally, especially with what I'm hearing from the community. Next, then, so with modifiers discussed, it's not just modifiers this season, it's the journey as well. I think we're all happy with the season pass and how that works. That's kind of new this season, the way it's one track now. Apart from people finishing it within like one control point because of the bug, I think that will get fixed going forward. I don't think there's many complaints about how they're doing the season pass at all. The events timeline, there's not a lot going on there anymore, but people are very excited for the ×5 events, and we've got global events and stuff. So I'm not seeing much mention about that either. But the priority objectives as well, I think people are happy with this system. I'm not seeing much mentioned about this. Apart from the blockers, they said they were removing blockers, and there are still sort of some blockers in there at times. I'm not sure they're going to improve that at all. But again, I think people are relatively happy with that. The most I'm hearing is the modifiers and then the journey. People do not like the journey. They think it's very tedious. They don't like how tedious it is, and they think it's a chore, and it's not a system that they want to do at the start of every season. My argument against that is I think the Division's always had this sort of strategy when it comes to extending your gameplay and getting you to do tasks. Even if you think back to the Division 1 global events, you used to get like a whole commendation list for each global event that had stuff like this in it that you had to do, and it rewarded you with masks and all sorts. I feel like they did it a little bit better there. I think some of this is a little bit too tedious, and personally I agree. I'd like to see some more challenging aspect to this, but then I think what they're trying to do is make this as accessible to all. If you go back to the Division 1 and you think about the happy mask, the piggy mask, there was real hard stuff to do. You know, you had to complete things like incursions flawless, like was it, I'm thinking Stolen Signal. Was that flawless? Falcon Lost maybe was the flawless one for the happy one. But Stolen Signal was needed as well for some global events. And there were some tough challenges. I preferred that, and we helped with that. It's how we grew this channel. But it's not accessible, and I think they are going down the more accessible route for more casual players that aren't going to be able to do that sort of content, like Flawless Paradise Lost or Flawless a raid, or even do a raid on the Division 2, because that can be hard to do. So you can kind of get why they're going down this route, and yes, it is very tedious. But I think the biggest problem with it is that it's very solo focused. You can't work on it with your friends. It's hard to work on it with your friends, to be honest with you, because I'm surprised by this one, because when they started doing global events on the Division 2 at the start, they had it like this, where you couldn't work on it in a team, and there's backlash about that. So much, in fact, that they actually included and they made changes so that you could work on the global event stars and challenges with a team, and you could help each other. So why they've kind of not thought about that when they've done this, and it's gone back to being solo again to get them done, I'm a little bit unsure of why they didn't think about that. But hopefully this is something that they're hearing, and in future seasons, or maybe even before, who knows, they allow us to work on this as a team, maybe increase the numbers a little bit. But let me link up with Lady Rock, let me link up with my friends, let me play the journey with my friends, and let's work together to get stuff done, you know? Like, that'd be great as well. I did another video where we're talking about boosting services right now, trying to take advantage of this, and people are going to pay for that crap because they don't want to do the journey on their own. Whereas if you enable this to be done in a co-op way, I've got a community there of loads of people that'll be happy to help people get this done. They'll be jumping with me, we'll help you get the kills that you need to get it done. I know what I'm doing. And all of a sudden, it becomes more about what the Division 2 is about, the community side of it, people making friends, people playing together. That's what I personally think needs to happen ASAP. And I'd be very, very surprised if that change is not done at some point, especially going back to how global events were on the Division 2 at the start, where they weren't co-op and they did make that change. So I want to say that's a certain that will happen. And I do see a lot of people complaining about how solo it is. Again, this is new. This is season 2, but it's the first time we've done the journey. It's the first time we've done the modifiers. They're hearing all our feedback. They'll see all our feedback. And I'm sure, hopefully, even before the end of the season, there might be things that can change to make this better. But most definitely when Season 3 comes and the DLC and we get to do this for a second time, I would expect to see some huge improvements to make this whole seasonal journey, as well as the modifiers, much more fun and accessible for everybody. I have high hopes they'll do that. I've seen the feedback. I agree with most of it, as you can tell. I think I've gone over everything that's important to me. Let me know in the comments if I've not mentioned anything that you find very important as well. Is there other changes you'd like to see? I did touch on I'd like to see some more challenging journey stuff, don't get me wrong, as accessible and casual as I think it needs to be. I would love to see some hard stuff again, like in the Division 1, you know, attach more rewards to it as well. Just who remembers those days of going for that happy mask by doing all those flawless missions, that piggy mask? This was all within one global event. It'd be great to have more things attached to this journey, more rewards, more masks, more apparel, and more harder tasks to do. Let the community help each other. So I am all for that, although I understand why they do go more casual. I'm going to end this video here. Again, let me know down in the comments your thoughts on this conversation today. I look forward to read them. Try and be constructive. It'd be great. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more content, and until the next one, take care and peace out.